Candidly, Sharon saying what others wouldn't dare. Want to know what social anxiety feels like? How to deal with social anxiety? Then buckle up, hold on tight, and keep bloody watching.
Alright.
Sharon H. rolling out my weekly dose of unapologetic candidness. Ever wondered if the way you feel may be social anxiety? Or what does social anxiety feel like? Well, I'm going to share with you my perception of social anxiety in a real, no-holds-barred manner you will not find elsewhere. Just remember, this video is coming from my own perception and viewpoint. Take what advice you want and let the rest slide right off of you like Teflon. You've got to do what's right for you. Give me a show of hands by hitting that like button if you've ever felt your hands go clammy and your knees go weak.
You like realness, rawness, and no fucks given truth bombs? Then smash that sub button right now for more unapologetic candidness.
When the words won't come, your mind goes blank and you're afraid to fucking speak. Come close, I want to tell you a little secret. Come on, keep coming. You, my friend, are not alone. So many of us experience or have experienced social anxiety. We struggle to hold flowing dialect. We stumble over our words because our focus isn't on our bloody words. Our focus is on the fear of looking a bloody numbnut, the fear of being judged. So why do so many of us struggle with the mindless worry of what others think of us? In my experience with people, more are so self-focused on how they themselves come across, they don't give a flying fuck how we present. But yeah, we can inwardly get ourselves wound up like a blasted clock, to the point we are almost hyperventilating, with our heart pumping loudly in our chest, like we are going to die, or wishing the earth would open up and swallow us rather than deal with social encounters. This adrenaline-fueled anxiety, the imaginings of looking a first-rate tosser in front of those that are most likely also worried about looking a first-rate tosser. Sometimes these feelings become so debilitating, we fear leaving the house on our own. The very thought of being without a wingman leaves sweat on our brow and upper lip, believing we will be a beacon for others' ill thoughts, shit talk and mockery. The paranoia is fucking real. When we are thrust into social situations that far exceed our comfort zone, our inner mind demon whispers loudly in our ear. Can't hear a word beyond this. They're there to exacerbate our greatest fears. That belief that we ourselves are so small and insignificant. Not a soul would care or want to hear a word we have to say. We tread lightly around others as though on eggshells. We dare not draw attention to us or get in others' way. Our overthinking moves into overdrive, seeking that exit to escape. Let me know in the comments if you've ever wanted to do something or go somewhere to be included, and then once you are, you just want to get out of it any way you can. The thought of being with others, especially strangers, is akin with that claustrophobic feeling of being in a small lift. Social situations leave us feeling obtuse, embarrassed, walking away feeling like a blasted goon. Every look in our direction feels like a judgmental stare, burning a hole through our skin. The suffocating, overwhelming, nauseating panic till fight or flight kicks in. Feelings of inadequacy, social anxiety can invoke, can be crippling, almost bring us to our knees. Anticipating the worst, the sheer terror running through our veins in situations others seem to take on with zest and ease. Feeling unworthy, stupid, ugly, fat, or just plain out of place. Never quite being able to articulate ourselves correctly, like we have nothing of value to contribute. We fidget, we fiddle, or we may try to overcompensate by talking too much without a filter. Instead of smooth and steady banter, we leave ourselves feeling like a half-wit, wishing our demise. We feel the often fantasized stares of disdain running through our soul. Our thoughts become erratic, our mind fast within a spin, like we may hit that vomit button after the verbal diarrhea kicks in. I believe the first step to overcome social anxiety is to realize we are not alone. Many people are not judgy hypocrites. They've got empathy for thoughts and feelings. They've also felt themselves. Those that do sit in judgment of us or others are probably the most self-conscious, weak gronks amongst us all, deflecting and projecting from their own inner fears and insecurities they hope no one else can see. When we come to the awakening that even the most strongest amongst us has had self-doubt running through their head, awareness of the knowledge that it's human to be frightened and sometimes second-guess ourselves, but it would be mindless to consider that we hold the monopoly to these thoughts, these apprehensions, when it's common and widely spread. The only time we'll stop feeling human responses and emotions is when we are devoid of life. To be nervous and frightened is a sign that we are alive and about to step out of our comfort zone and do something that will lead us to our brave. Remaining in our place of comfort will never lead us nowhere good. The magic happens when we dare step outside of that comfort zone, even when we feel like we're on shaky ground. Learning to stand firm in our convictions on our own two bloody feet, by knowing we have the same right to be who we are as everybody else. We can start to see the good around us when we stop focusing on our freaking selves. Even if we stumble over our words or fuck up, what does it really matter? Laughing at ourselves, our blunders, is a good way to get in first. When we find the funny side of being imperfect and get it through our noggins that perfection doesn't exist at all, we can only feel belittled if we surrender to ours or others' bullshit shit. Allow ourselves feel small. But when the bullshit being spun is coming from our own mind demon, infecting us with needless doubt. By laughing at ourselves, even when we slip up, we'll drown that noxious little fucker out. Hiding away or suppressing the feelings that mingling with others invokes won't ever see social anxiety disappear. Confronting and speaking of it amongst friends, online, or a professional can help alleviate the shame. Social anxiety can only control us if we give it the power to breathe. Social anxiety feeds its hunger with mental visions of negativity and danger, the fear of looking weak. Our eye of the mind imaginings of all that could go wrong keep our anxiety demons at play. But if we begin to think more realistically in our favor, give ourselves more credit for our capabilities, more bloody forgiveness for our idiosyncrasies, try to break the habits formed of our own self-critic spiels by being more in tune with our own positives and by realizing that social anxiety is not who we are. It's an emotion we are sometimes gonna feel. We have to learn the worst judgments can really only come from ourselves. How we think we shall become, and it ain't got bugger all to do with anybody else. I've always told my children, and I'm going to share the same with you, others can only see us how we choose to show. If we present ourselves as confident, even when our insides are far from it, as if others would ever bloody know. You are the controller of you. That remote is completely in your own bloody hand. We cannot control the behavior of others or how they choose to be. But you do have the power to unshackle the chains that keep you bound to the fears that come from social anxiety. The power to drown out those fantasist beliefs, the considerations of what others think, say, or do. Stand tall in who you are and know the only voice that matters is your own, and all you fucking say to you